Hey, I'm back. So, as you can recall, last episode we were hanging out with Wraith. He let us touch a special bell, which I suppose that kind of sounds like a euphemism, but it's not. He let us touch a special bell, and then he hit us with the whole "this place isn't real" thing, and he didn't really say much else. But I'm gonna have to pause the video and skip through all this tidbit that we've seen already so we can get to the parts we haven't seen yet. I'll be back with you in a moment. So I'm back and we're at the storytelling event where we have to pick who we want to hear a story from. And of course this time I'm going all in on Wraith. So let's hear it, Wraith. What have you got to say? I choose you, Wraith. Whoa. This entire experience is being carefully crafted to avoid an IP infringement lawsuit. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm not really one for scary stories. Life is scary enough as it is. You literally carry around a skull and a spine as your little prop. As the other killers laugh, Wraith holds up his skull and gazes into its hollow, dark eye sockets. If you're looking for something Shakespearean in this story, look elsewhere. This is a tale of madness, of staring at the soul of death and never returning. Once upon a time, a young man worked at a junkyard. The man was quiet, kept to himself, just wanted to avoid trouble. While the boss dealt with clients, the young man operated the crusher, turning old cars into cubes of twisted metal. Kind of like that one game. Can never remember its title. Anyways, one day, right before crushing a car, he noticed something. Blood. Drip, drip, dripping from the trunk. He opened it and found a frightened stranger, bound and gagged. The young man reeled. Was he about to accidentally murder the stranger? How could this have happened? He freed the stranger, who ran off into the waiting arms of the boss, the owner of the junkyard. Before his sunken employee could tell him about the mistake they had nearly made, the boss took out a knife and swiftly slit the stranger's throat. The young man fell to his knees, unable to comprehend what was happening, as he stared at the ground, too shocked to cry. The boss approached him. What did you do? He asked the boss. I did your job for you. What do you mean? That's not my job. My job is to crush the cars. The boss let out a miserable scoff, his face contorting in evil disdain for the pathetic wretch in front of him. Why do you think we're crushing these cars? To save space? Who do you think my clients are? I don't know, mumbled the young man. Yes, you do, he screamed. Deep down, you've always known what was happening here. You just didn't want to admit it to yourself. Your hands aren't clean. My clients give me money, and I take care of their problems, eliminate their weaknesses, tie up their loose ends. Or actually, you do. No, the young man whimpered as the boss towered above him. Yes, you're nothing more than an executioner, and you've reaped hundreds of souls. The young man's body shook with soft spasms as he tried to stop crying. It was when the boss started laughing that it happened. Something in that young man changed. He stood up, now taller than the boss. A faint glimmer of fear overtook the snarl on the older man's face. The young man's face was empty. Empty as he grabbed the boss's throat and dragged him to the car in the crusher. Empty as he picked up the boss and stuffed him inside. Empty as he slammed the trunk down on him, its stupid fat head sticking out, begging for mercy. Empty as he started the machine, staring at the boss and its sniveling, crying wet face. Empty as he grabbed the boss's head, dug his fingers in further, piercing the skin. Empty as he squeezed and pulled, empty as he heard bones popping and snapping. But when the boss's head, still attached to his spine, pulled cleanly out of its disgusting sack of a body, he smiled. Wraith stares back into the eye sockets of his skull. It doesn't matter how good you are, how innocent, how kind, how full of love you once were. When you look into the eyes of evil, you'll surely go mad. An awkward silence falls upon the room until offer effusive praise, ask about the story, or make a joke. Clearly, I know which answer it's not. I get the feeling if I ask about the story, he'll probably just say, "Did that happen to you?" So I'll just offer praise right now. When you looked into the eyes of evil, you'll surely go mad. My God, that is brilliant. I'm glad you didn't give us any Shakespeare, because that story made Shakespeare look like a slack-jawed, mouth-breathing idiot. Thank you. That reminds me. I think it was back in high school that me and my friend were talking about Shakespeare. Because, of course, during high school they make you read, at the very least, Romeo and Juliet, which is one of the most read Shakespeare plays, along with the fact that it's also one of the most acted out plays. And I'm kind of indifferent when it comes to Shakespeare. I think my friend said he didn't actually like the whole Romeo and Juliet story. But I'll definitely ask him later. And I guess for an added bit of engagement, tell me what you guys think on Romeo and Juliet. Or, at the very least, whatever your favorite Shakespeare story is, if you have one. Because it's always a bit of an interesting discussion to talk literature. Anyways, I'm too overcome. As you sit down, the other killers look at each other, unsure if you're joking. Thanks? Wraith, on the other hand, is absolutely sure you're joking. You may have gone a little overboard. I did it for you, Wraith. I did it for you. I swear. On that note, everyone decides it's time to take a break and split up for a little bit. So yeah, this one I won't pause for since it's just a tiny little tidbit, and then it asks, "Who do you want to hang out with?" Oh yeah, I forgot the little tidbit with Trickster. So it's time that I skip this. Oh, oh, Jesus. Uh, Hang on a sec. Alright, I'm back. So, I was skipping back to the point in the story that I missed. But since the save file took me all the way back to the very beginning of the entire storytelling event, I decided, how's about I ask about the story this time? And that poor young man. I wonder what happened to him. Oh, yeah, we may never know. Well, wherever he is, I hope he's okay. I can't tell, but I think Wraith just smiled. Sorry, it's weird to see him do that. uh, on that note, okay, yeah, this is where it was. I'm going to skip past the trickster, and this time I'm going to be a bit more careful. Okay. So that happens, and then Wraith approaches you. Hey, I'm probably not making a great impression, because, I guess that's not really my thing. I just know that if you got to know me, then, I mean, look, the others aren't around. And I really hate the fire pit. I just kind of hate fire in general. Maybe we could go back to the pool. And like, I don't know. Whatever. You know. Dip in the pool with the Wraith. You've come a long way, single day. I'm not saying you shouldn't follow him an offer like that. You just don't forget our little talk. So now I guess it's time for the first real date event with him. You and your storyteller friends slip into the water. It's just the right temperature for an evening dip. Plus, if some jealous shark comes along and manages to jump from the ocean into the pool, you're also pretty sure your killer companion could handle it. Hey, do you remember my story? You mean the one you just told, like a minute ago? Yeah. Yes. Did you, I mean, like, what did you think of the young man in the story? Do you think he's weird? The middle option is definitely the wrong answer. I feel like saying he's not weird is the neutral answer, so I'm gonna go with I would forgive him. I would forgive him. What happened to him would make anyone snap. And who knows what happened in his past to lead him to that point. He was just trying to be good. Yes, that's all he wanted, was to be good. Well, that makes sense. the young man remind you of anyone? I'ma just say yes. I wonder though if I should play dumb and say no, because it's very obvious that he just told his story from Dead by Daylight spot for spot, but I don't know. Well, no, he said honesty was good, so I'm gonna just be honest and say yes. Yes, it's you. It's clearly you. What? No, it's. I'm. You're carrying around the guy's skull and spine with you right now. Wraith looks at Azeroth's skull, then out into the middle distance. A long silence ensues. You notice the temperature has dropped significantly. Is it cold in the water now, or is it just me? I feel like my toes are turning into ice cubes. Wraith seizes up and squeezes his eyes shut. Please, I can't be around any cube talk. Not since I heard that story from somebody else a long time ago. I guess I should have played dumb. The story you just told us 2 minutes ago? Exactly, the one that wasn't about me. Usually we'd be nervous that we were about to make things awkward when we barge in. But obviously we couldn't hold a candle to whatever was happening here tonight. Either way, it's time for bed. Hang on a second though. I really want to see what happens when I play dumb, so I'm gonna load up the event again. I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back, and this time I'm going to answer yes and no. Because I feel like taking the middle ground and not playing like entirely oblivious might get me more points than just saying no. So let's see if this turns out any better. Well, yes and no. I think that's what makes it such a great story. It's unique and surprising, but relatable and familiar. I think we all know someone like that young man. I think we all have a little of him inside us. Wraith giggled, not in a gross way, like you're thinking, but a very silly one. I don't know why this thought just came. Well, I know why it came to mind, but I just imagine, like, before he giggles, his face going entirely blank, and then him just randomly being like, oh. And then his face just goes back to normal when he stops laughing. I swear. Oh, anyway, I assume he's imagining a tiny little version of himself dancing around in his own belly because that's just who he is. I admit I was not seeing that coming. You notice the temperature has dropped significantly. Oh. So this was clearly the better option. I don't know if it's just a good option or if it's the best possible option for that event. But clearly it made Wraith happy, so I'ma stick with it. Hang on a sec. Alright. So I'ma skip past all this. And now we head over to the campfire. where Dwight and Claudette should be giving me a blanket and a pillow so that I can sleep out on the beach. Oh, right. I believe this is the radio minigame, where there's technically no way to mess up. So I hit 100 this time. Well, I'm pretty sure you guys can hear it, but this song feels more like it'd be an instrumental of a song that would play in like Killing Floor or something. Anyways, I'm gonna turn off the radio now. You decide to ask one of the killers to spend a little more time with you until you're sleepier. So now, let's hang out with Wraith for the night. Wraith, are you around? I was wondering if I could get a little company. I can't really sleep. Oh, that happens to me a lot. Okay. Don't laugh. Promise? I promise. I guess my secret to falling asleep is listening to the sounds of bells or chimes. Think of it as white noise to drown out anything you might be hearing that's keeping you up. Like what, Wraith? Like those distant screams we can hear all that we can all hear coming from beyond the mountain? Makes me wonder what's happening beyond the mountain. If that's a bit morbid, I guess you could hold on to this chess piece of mine. Ah, he had a knight. It's a knight. They're brave, like I wish I were. And the horsey is cute. You finally start to feel sleepy, except maybe this isn't really a sleepy feeling. Maybe you're paralyzed. You try to keep your eyes open, but you can't. Darkness overtakes you. Sorry, I let out a bit of a yawn there. But, I believe this leads into another bit of the events that usually happen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the same sort of event that usually happens after the first state event. Anyways, I'm gonna probably pause the recording and skip ahead. So, I'll be back. Alright, so I'm back. Now, like the previous runs, after that little bit of dialogue, you see someone staring at you. And this time, it just so happened to be Huntress. Which feels like it's perfectly mirroring mirroring my previous playthroughs. So, let's go ahead and see this scene. Huntress is rifling through your pockets. Oh, you're awake. I wasn't stealing from you, merely trying to get to know you better by seeing what sort of trinkets you keep close. I saw you with the Wraith right before bedtime. Look, I'm not saying I don't trust them, but, well, yes, I am saying that I don't trust anyone. I don't already have title, so I was making sure they didn't do anything fishy. And I was making sure you're not a soldier, soldiers killed my father, you know. Well, I've got you. You should really consider spending some more time with me. I'm not scary. You're not? Not at all. I'm just a lost girl on a big island, making my way downtown. I mean, I've been watching you since you got here. You know, not like in a creepy way. I just stare at you from across the corner, watching you, making sure nobody gets close to you. 'Cause if they do, I mean, what? don't, don't worry. There's nothing going on here. Huntress pauses for a long moment. Alright, in a charmingly creepy way, I've noticed how fun-loving you seem. If you spend some time with me tomorrow, maybe I'll take you to the special place I found. It's all mine. None of the other killers have been able to find me there. It's quiet and isolated. Maybe I'll even show you how to make beef stroganoff. And then I'll show you how to make some real beef stroganoff, if you get what I mean. Wink wink. That all sounds very enticing. I'll let you get back to bed. It's been a long day. I'm just imagining Huntress like shushing you and then like putting her whole hand over your face as she continues to shush you. I swear. Huntress places a gigantic hand on your forehead and your eyes flutter closed. I swear. Finally alone. For real this time. Maybe. You drift off to sleep again. Hopefully you're not poisoned. Kinda curious as to if Wraith will say anything different compared to my other playthroughs. So let's see. Can you blame me for not getting along well with others? I mean, I haven't had a real conversation with anyone since I was a child. I take the fact that I haven't slaughtered the newcomer for their media as a win. Jeez, that's dark. They look pretty tasty though, so who knows what'll happen tomorrow. Hey Dwight, do we have tarragon on this island? Look, I'm always full of rage. I'm curious. Know how to control yourself? It's just that I didn't love it. That was funny. Laugh. I said laugh, dang it. Anyways, I'm planning to kill this idiot. Don't tell him though. I want to lead them on a little more. It will make it that much better for me when they're screaming. Sorry about that. Like, I have been yawning quite a bit. Basically, the only reason I have to say for that is because, my sleep schedule has basically been messed up a bit. But anyways, yeah, today was fun. I don't want to get ahead of myself, or really, invest in something that might hurt me, so, I don't know. Maybe we'll just have to see how it goes. Or maybe they'll realize I'm not the one for them. They seem pretty smart, so that's probably what'll happen. I gotta learn to go easier on myself. Who could love me if I couldn't love myself? Alright, skip through that scene, and here we are at the next event. So, let's see. You open your eyes. The sun is shining. There's not a cloud in the sky, and you feel great, totally well rested. I swear. So, sorry, I'm kind of reading this. I think it's actually gonna get to the part with the new stuff. Anyways, but I really wouldn't mind if they made a sequel to this and had a few more of the killers in it. Even if they just make like one of them the shopkeeper or something. If there even is a shop in the sequel. Anyways, let's see. And I forgot just how much text there is between this. Hang on a sec. Let me pause the recording and I'll get back to you when I'm at the part where new stuff's happening. Alright, I'm back. Finally, some new text popped up. And Wraith has seemingly come to check on us. Oh, it's Wraith. That checks out. You two have gotten pretty cozy. Hey, sorry if this is too bored, but do you want to get out of here? I know a place that it's kind of, I mean, it's got, well, it's hard to explain. Actually, it's kind of weird. You know what? If you want to go somewhere else with someone else, I totally understand. But if you want to see something weird and interesting, um, let me know, I guess. You've been around Wraith long enough to realize that this rambling speech was actually him being incredibly brave and asking you out. But before you can decide if you want to go off with Wraith, Spirit interjects. Ah. So, that's definitely another new thing in this path. So with Huntress and Trapper's routes, I got to see those two specifically whenever it came to events. Well, to a lot of events. The person who stares at you when you're sleeping after the first day does seem to change between each path, though. So, I can't say I wasn't fully expecting this one to change, but still, let's see what happens. Listen to that word vomit. It's like he truly doesn't even want you to say yes to him. Is everything he says real? Really? You should go off with me instead, because I'm not some kind of fake ghost pretending I don't like things. I'm a real ghost and I hate everything. But not you. I'm not saying I like you, but, well, I could later, hypothetically. I know you like a challenge, so come get it. Tough choice. You weigh your options quickly because you can only go on one date today, and you also don't want to get hacked to pieces for saying the wrong thing. It's always good to remember that these are cold-blooded killers. So, of course, it's Wraith time. I gotta go with Wraith. Wraith? Yes. I picked you. I'm sorry, I stopped paying attention, and then I thought I was hallucinating, and now, really? Yes, really. Cool. I swear. So, I think I'm gonna call it here for this one, because honestly, I've been yawning too much, and again, my sleep pattern has been pretty messed up these past few days, so I'm gonna call it quits before I risk falling asleep on record and having to heavily edit this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and well, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye.